Hey guys, Human here, and this time I'm back to talk to you about Crossheart in BT10. It is expected to be a tier 1 deck, and potentially even tier 0. It's been doing extremely well in Japan, going up going forward, and it continues to do so as well. So let's get right into it and see why that is. First, we have our eggs and rookies. Our eggs, we have Pikmon. It should be the one and only egg you should ever use in this deck, as it works with every Crossheart level 3. Every Crossheart level 3 can digivolve on top of this egg for a cost of 0, so you can have multiple colors in the deck. And when attacking, if you have Crossheart in this trait, you get to draw 1, just like Upamon. Next, we have Shoutmon. On play, it's a searcher, and it is inheritable. It's Rush. So if you have Shoutmon attached to your Digimon when you Digicross, it gains Rush. So if you play Digimon, attach it, it becomes word amount across, and if it doesn't pass turn, you can Rush with that Digimon. And on deletion, save. Every um, Digicross Digimon has a on deletion save mechanic that allows you to put their Digimon under a tamer so you can use it in the future. Sparrowmon, same thing. It has on deletion save. It is one of the stronger level threes where it gives an extra 3,000 DP boost to itself. And then it's inheritable. Reboot. If the Digimon has Shoutmon in its name or Mervamon in its name, it just reboots right back up. And then, of course, we have Starmon. Starmon's inheritable gives you a draw 1 if it has Shoutmon in its name, and on deletion save as well. These are your primary 3 level 3s, and of course, you can't forget about the level 2 Pikmons. Next, your level 4 champions. We have 4 Dorulumon, 4 Ballistamon, and 4 Shoutmon Cross 4. Dorulumon, it has an on play of reducing DP by 3,000. That is your main source of removal when it comes to Solarmon, Psychmon, so you can Digicross right after. Next, we have Ballistamon. It has a blocker trait where if you have it on board, you can it's a blocker. Every deck you want to be able to block attacks that can kill you. So of course Ballistamon does that, and it gives a piercing inheritable. So if your opponent has a Digimon on board, you Digicross, and then you attack over it because you're stronger, you can pierce it. So against Minervamon or Minerva Loop, there are a lot of times where they attack with their Icemon Scattermost, and it's not deleted because you have a lot of Tamers in this deck. So when it's not deleted, it's just on board. Your Digicross Shoutmon can just pierce over it and get extra checks that way. You remove a body and piercing. And of course, we have Shoutmon Cross 4 that I just mentioned. Material save 2, meaning if the Digimon would be deleted, you can save 2 of its sources and put it under a Digimon. However, it has an on-play draw 2, that's your primary draw power, and an end of attack. You may, alright, you don't have to, you may delete this Digimon to unsuspend a tamer and put all the sources under a tamer. So you have a Taiki on board that's suspended because you suspended it in order to Digicross, and then you play the Shoutmon Cross 4. Upon playing the Shoutmon Cross 4, you put your sources under. You have Shoutmon, you have Ballistamon, you have Dorulumon, and Starmons. It now becomes a 1-cost Digimon with Rush, Piercing. Um, your opponent's security is minus 2,000, and you also get to draw 1 when you attack. So that's essentially a 10,000 DP Digimon go into security because of Dorumon's effect and Rush. After attacking, you delete it, you put all the sources under the Taiki to unsuspend the Taiki, and play another Shoutmon Cross 4 and do it again. This is how you loop this card. Next, we have your ultimate Shoutmon Cross 5. Of course, you don't always have memory to play Shoutmon Cross 4. Shoutmon Cross 4 overall costs 1 no matter what. Cross 5, it's possible to play it with 0 cross. It is generally the finisher of the game. However, it's also a blocker and secure attack plus 1 and reboot because of Starmon. So you play it, you put Starmon under, you get reboot. It's now a reboot blocker. Attack with it, reboot it on your opponent's turn. Now they have to deal with this before they can finish you off. If not, it just sits there. It's a menace on the board as a 10k secure attack +1 blocker. And of course, you have Material Save 3. When it's deleted, you put 3 of its sources under a Tamer. Next, we have Def Xmon, our megas. It's the one and only mega in the whole deck. You can play 2, you can play 3. It's all up to preference. I personally only play 1, potentially 2, because it's not your core mechanic of the deck. This is just a defensive measure. It's not an offensive card. It's extreme defensive where you want to clear wide boards as well as be able to lock your opponent down. So decks like Jesmon, Bloomlord, Lilith Loop, not Minervamon, specifically not Minerva. Minervamon only deals with 1 or 2 Digimon at a time. Chances are you don't get to play a Def Xmon for cheap. However, everything else you can. Jesmon goes Y, Bloomlord goes Y, Lilith Loop goes Y. You can look at even Alphamon. They might have a lot of tamers. You can look at Mirror Matches. They have a lot of tamers. So Def Xmon is super good for these matchups. Next, we have our Tamers, 4 Taiki, 4 Akari, 4 Zenjiro, 2 Tais. The Tai Kamiya, you can this is interchangeable. It can be Tai Kamiya or it can even be Kiriha. Kiriha would be a substitute Taiki in this case, where if you do not have Taiki, you can use Kiriha to suspend it in order to digicross from your Tamers. Taiki does it as well. However, Kiriha is your memory tamer, or in this case, Tai is your memory tamer. I opted for Tai because I'm playing Sunrise Buster. I'm playing 4 Sunrise Buster so I can have more targets. Sunrise Buster allows me to play a red tamer or yellow tamer, and then minus 3000 DP to your opponent's Digimon based on the number of red or yellow tamers I have in play. So this way I have more of these and more targets for Sunrise Buster to be active. However, Kiriha overall it is a more consistent card as it allows you to suspend it in order to digicross. Overall I talked about both, but Taiki is a searcher as well. On play you put one Digimon with Digicross in this trait under the Tamer, and you add 1 card with Digicross in this trait to your hand. So you can put a level 3 or level 4 to your under Tamer, and then you could even put Cross 4, Cross 5, or any other Tamer. All these Tamers have a Cross Heart trait as well. Next we have Akari. Of course, it's Straw Power, and then on play you can play Dorurumon, and you get the Dorurumon effect. So you will play Akari, play the Dorurumon, minus 3000 DP to your opponent, and you can suspend it that turn it is play in order to draw 1. Zenjiro does the same thing, but with Ballistamon. Instead of drawing 1, you gain a memory. So Ballistamon would overall be a 2 cost to play. All these tamers are your turn only effects though. So if your opponent hits it in security, you cannot suspend it in order to draw 1 or gain a memory, but they can still play the Digimon. Next, of course, we have Sunrise Buster, 4 off in the deck in order to remove big Digimons, Minervamon in this case, or even bigger ones like Def Xmon or Jesmon. That works too. And then we have Crimson Blaze and Fireball. The primary reason for these cards is cards like Psychmon, Solarmon, and decks that go wide. You have to delete them in order for you to play the game. If you don't remove Psychmon or Solarmon, you don't get to play the game because all your cards are reducing play cost. They stop you from reducing play cost. Fireball, of course, is a draw power card as well. Overall, Crimson Blaze does help a lot more, especially against Minervamon, or Minerva Loop in this case, since Minerva Loop cannot play cards off effects because of Crimson Blaze. So you stop their whole mechanic. And here's your matchup overview. I believe Minervamon is one of the harder matchup where it's a 40-60 with a better edge to Minerva as they play blockers and Psychmon. And you have to make sure you have Akaris or Fireballs available to play so you can remove Psychmons. Same thing with Crimson Blaze, keep them available. If you do not have them, you better hope it's in security. Next, Blue Flare. Just avoid keeping Digimon of no source in play. If you do, the Sworjo will not be in effect, and they cannot stun you. If they can't stun your Digimon, they can't really do much. All you have to do is go into cross 4 later and OTK that way. Cross 4, attack, survive, unsuspend, do it again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Just loop through the whole thing. If you have tie, you're doing 2 checks at a time instead of 1. Make sure you're playing around Hammer Spark or Ice Wall. Most decks are only playing Ice Wall, not playing Hammer Spark. But never know. There might be 1 or 2 Hammer Sparks available in their deck just because they have space. Very unlikely, but very possible as well. And of course, Jesmon, it's 50-50, maybe a little more 55-45, who knows. It's very, very close, this matchup, where Crossheart takes time, a little bit more time to set up, while Jesmon, if they high roll or if they have a stack, they just go off and go wide. Once they go wide, it's extremely hard for Crossheart to come back. However, Crossheart do play security bombs. Crossheart does play Def Xmon. They do play Crimson Blaze. If they're able to remove Digimon this way, if they're able to Crimson Blaze, Jesmon is not able to answer it immediately. Jesmon doesn't have as much answer as Crossheart would have normally. However, they have a stronger push and power. And next we have Bloomlore, same thing. They push really hard in power. However, once their push is done, they don't have anything else. Because once they go wide, get their swings in, all they have is wherever they have in play. If you're able to remove their board, delete their entire board, you win. This they can't come back from it. If they're able to Def Xmon, that deletes a majority of the Digimon, the DD Digivolve his Digimon, and then you go into cross 4, even cross 5, and delete their attack over to level 5s now, because Bloomlore is no longer in play, as it's been de-Digivolve, or whoever else they have in play. And of course, Blackwood Greymon, I just want to throw it in here, because it is impossible, nearly impossible for Crossheart to beat Blackwood Greymon. Why? They just delete your tamers. Pray that they break. That's all I can say. Just pray. And here is the full deck list. We have 4 Pigmons, 4 Sparrowmon, 4 Shoutmon, 4 Starmons, 4 Ballistamon, 4 Shoutmon Cross 4, 4 Dorurumon, 3 Shoutmon Cross 5, 1 Def Xmon, 2 Crimson Blaze, 2 Fireball, 4 Sunrise Buster, 4 Zenzero, 2 Taikamiya, 4 Taiki, and 4 Akari. Alright, next we go into Tabletop. So I prepared this ahead of time on what a board state may look like. And especially against Minervamon, where they have 2 Psychmons in play. So the only way to really remove Psychmon in this case is to play a Crimson Blaze. However, let's suppose they only have 1 Psychmon in play, right? So in here, you do not Akari, you do not Pyro Spear to remove Psychmon. Why? Because when you play a Digimon, Minervamon would play it back again. So you move your Starmon up into your into the play area, and you Crimson Blaze first. Crimson Blaze would be 3 cost because they have 3 Digimon. Taikamiya being a memory tamer helps in this cost, removing the Psychmon and Devimon. Remember, the deck does play cards like Jackray. You have to hope they don't have it in their security. So you just attack with it, you draw 1, and you check its security. It's FXmon, that's fine. You save the Digimon because they just save. They have the on deletion save. You put it under tamer. Now you have 0, right? There's 0, but you have a Zenzero, so that means you can cross 4 here. You cross 4 for 1 by putting in. You suspend Taiki. You put in Shoutmon. You put in Ballistamon. You put in Dorulumon, and you put in Starmons. Remember when you cross, right? You have to put left to right. So Shoutmon's on top, then Ballistamon, then Dorumon, and then Starmons. That is the ruling on this. So make sure you do it right. It is one cost. How about you have a Zenjiro? That means suspend it. You gain a memory. Akari suspend it. Draw a card. Shoutmon on play. You draw 2 more cards. Remember, you have a tie in play. What does that mean? That means you can attack with this for 2 checks. Since you have 4 sources, it is red as well. You draw 1 for attacking because of Starmons. And you have Rush, Piercing, that doesn't matter. They don't get to play anything off their Minerva effect because you Crimson Blaze. Now you check in for 2 at essentially 10,000 because of the Rumon. You check 2. Jack Raid. Oh, so unlucky and pass turn. But if that wasn't there, um, let's suppose that wasn't there. Kind of cheating right now. No, not that one. Not that one. Oh my goodness. Alright, there we go. As you can tell, I wasn't prepared ahead of time. So let's say these were in security instead of Jack Ray. Right? They were never there, alright? They were never there. These were in security instead. So hit that, it lives. Now with effect, you can put all the Digimon under, all the sources under Digimon unsuspended. Here, I choose to unsuspend Zenjiro. So that way, I don't gain a memory. I just unsuspend it and you have all the sources there. Reason being, now I can cross 4 again with the other Taiki. Suspend for 1 cost. Suspend the Zenjiro. So go back to 0 and put all the sources back under start cross 4 again, draw 2. Hit the last security. Check. It's essentially 10k, so it lives. Now you use your effect again. Now put it under Taiki this time, so he unsuspends. Now suspend this to play cross 5. So alt 5. So you have 5 sources. It's now free and attack for game. Generally, that's how you would do it. Ignore the fact that I didn't check for the Jack rates. I should have done that before the game, but that's what should have happened. That's just why I prefer Crimson Blaze, as well as Sunrise Buster and Piracy. We have people playing a hero from the sky instead because a hero from the sky is searchable of Taiki. It's searchable because it has a cross heart trait. So overall, you have to play around the deck, see what you like best, and go from there. So I'll see you next time, and I'll be more prepared. I'll be more prepared. I don't know what deck profile I'll do next, but we'll see how the tournaments come out and when I'll get cards.